going back to the manage members screen. So while you're running your business from a day-to-day basis, this is pretty much going to be a hub of operation. Anytime you have a customer support issue or a question with a customer, you're going to be coming to the screen, and you can do a number of things here. So the first thing is you can search, right? So you have all the different sorts of criteria for being able to search for members, by membership level, by bundles that are applied to the account, status of the account, specific email address, name, etc. So some useful tools there in order to be able to find people. Alternatively, I'll also cover the browse transaction screen now. So, when we get customer support requests, somebody may be asking an account related request. Most of the time you'll know their email address, which is really the best way to look up their account. But sometimes it doesn't happen frequently, but sometimes people will say, oh, I was billed this much on this day. I don't know my account login, etc. And basically the only thing you have to go on is what they said they paid and what their name is, right? So in that situation, you could use the browse transactions view. And this shows you all the transactions that happen through MemberMouse, and in chronological order. You can sort it any way you want, but the default is by date descending. And so this might be another way that you find them if you only know what they say they paid on a certain day. Oh, my card was billed $149 on January 25th. I don't know what my account is. Well, I can see here there's a $149 charge. And then right from here, I can click on the email address, and this will take me into the member details area where I can see all the different information about their account. Same as, if I know their email address or if I know a piece of information about them, I do the search here, and then again, I can just click on their email address, and that will take me to the member details area. So the general tab, shows us some general information, shows us some account stats, when the account was created, shows us when certain emails were sent. So if I click view details here, it'll show us exactly what emails were sent by MemberMouse and when they were sent. And you can also actually view the content of the email by clicking it here. Now, generally speaking, these emails are set up using push notifications. So a lot of times what people do is they'll have welcome emails be sent and payment receipts. These are two typical ones. So the way that you go ahead and create those is you go to developer tools, push notifications, and then create push notification. And then you specify, okay, when a member's added on any membership level, I want to send an email to the current member. And then we have some default templates here. So there's a member added template, which fills in some content with smart tags. And of course, you can customize this any way you want. But the useful thing about the template is it includes smart tags, which will put in dynamic data like the person's name, their email address, if that's information you want to include in the email itself. We also have a template for order receipt, again, which includes smart tags that will output dynamic data like the total of the order, et cetera, so that you can send a receipt. But basically, anytime you have MemberMouse send out an email like this to the current member, there's going to be a log of it in the activity log, right? Which you can get to from the general tab, clicking view details next to all emails that were sent. That's a quick way, or you can just go to the activity log and filter it by email and click show events, and then it'll filter it by email. Engagement stats, last login, information, number of pages accessed again. You can view details. This will take you to the activity log, automatically filter it by page access and show you which pages that the customer accessed and when. This can be useful information if you just want to understand what pages your customers are accessing. You can view this on a member by member basis like we're doing now, but if you go to logs over here, this is the global activity log. This is the log for all members. So we can filter this by page access, so we can see all the pages that everybody's accessing. So it'll just give you an idea of the kind of engagement on your pages. And going back to general tab, there's some tools here. You can log in as a member. Oh, the other way that page access is helpful, sometimes if there's a chargeback situation, and somebody's claiming they didn't actually use your product, the activity log is a useful thing for submitting evidence, because it actually tracks everything. It tracks the login, what pages they viewed, et cetera. So if somebody claims, oh, I signed up, but I never used it, depending on your, refund policy and stuff that you determine for yourself, you could opt to go in here and be like, well, I actually see that you did access these pages, and then you could determine what you want to do with that information. But it is here for you if you need it. And then there's some tools. You can log in as a member, which is helpful if somebody's saying that they have an issue or they can't see something. You can actually log in as that member, see exactly what they're seeing. You can resend a welcome email. Forget this member. This is a GDPR compliance feature. So when you click forget this member, it'll actually anonymize any personal identifiable information in the database associated with this member. It won't delete the data. It'll just anonymize it, because if it deleted it, then your transaction records would be messed up. We don't want to delete transactions from an accounting perspective. We just want to anonymize it, basically get rid of the email address. And there are, you can basically set this up and configure it the way you want. So in the other settings, general settings, other settings, you can specify what information should be anonymized when this feature is used. By default, all of these are checked, but if, for example, you don't want to anonymize email address, you could uncheck that, right? So it's flexible. And then we just have, first name, last name, email, username. You can change their password, reset their password. If they call in or email in and they can't log in, and for some reason, you can reset it. Their billing address and shipping address are stored here and can be updated. So this tab shows you everything to do with their the access on their account. So there's a section for membership level, what membership level they're on, and then you can change the status of that, lock it, pause it, cancel it. You can determine their days as member calculation. So the days as member calculation is utilized in situations where you're protecting content based on the number of days they've been a member. So if you're releasing content over time, this is where this comes into play. If all your content's just available immediately, then this doesn't apply to you. But if you're dripping it over time, you have some options in terms of specifying how the number of days they've been a member is calculated. By default, it's by join date. But in certain circumstances, you may want to change this, make it a custom date. Sometimes, a customer may ask you if they could get it fast forwarded or whatever. There are a number of different scenarios, but you can fix it to a certain number of days, or you could base it on a custom date. And then this shows you the bundles applied to their account. And then from here, you can also add new bundles. So I can go ahead and apply that bundle to their account. And now this member has that bundle applied to their account. So, anything to do with access, a lot of times too, you may have situations where you want to give something to somebody for free. Maybe they're a partner, maybe they're, for whatever reason, you want to comp them something. So if it's a paid thing, anytime you want to apply a bundle or change their membership to something that's paid, you have options for selecting the thing and billing their card on file, or you can comp it, right? So I can give it to them for free. So in this case, I'll just say comp. And now it will show that bundle is applied to the account, but it's complimentary, so it's not being paid for. From here, you can also, is this what I'm thinking of? Yeah, you can change the days with bundle calculation method too. Again, if content is being dripped to the people who have access to the bundle over time, then this comes into play. My password manager is just automatically filling in my name into stuff. So that's why that's there. Okay, so now we go to the subscriptions tab. So this will show us all the active billing subscriptions on the account. So there could be as many subscriptions as they have running will show on this page. And here we can do things like cancel billing only. So again, if I want to comp somebody, if I want to cancel their billing but leave access to the content, I could click this button. If I want to cancel billing and access, I click this. If I want to change the next rebill date, again, my password manager is replacing the content, but the date would be showing here, not my name. You can change the next rebill date. Now, this is only available on advanced plans and above, but this can be useful in certain circumstances. The transactions tab is where you'll go if you want to see all the transactions that have happened on the account. It shows you the type of transaction. So this was a payment, and it shows us the payment method was Stripe. This indicates that it was a test transaction. And then we can issue a refund from here. So if I click issue refund, that'll go ahead and issue a refund, and then we'll see that it will show up in the transactions area as well. Refund was issued. If there's any affiliate information associated with this purchase, that would show up here. Now, again, going back to the activity log, this logs a number of different events that go on with this particular member's account. So it tracks billing events. So if we show events, billing, this isn't a very interesting account because it's a relatively new account. Let me see if I can find an account that actually has been recurring for a little bit. So I'm in the browse transactions view now. This icon means that this is an initial purchase, and this one means it's a recurring payment. So because it's a recurring payment, I know that this account's been active for a while. They've had at least 2 payments. So we can see here, this person has this many transactions. And if I go to the activity log and filter by billing, we can see all of the billing events that happen on this particular account. Access rights is also useful in certain circumstances. It'll show you, again, this account is in pending activation, so it doesn't apply for this case, but Go back. Let me just choose this guy. Activity log. Access rights. So we can see for this guy, they signed up for the monthly membership and then they upgraded to the annual membership a minute later. And then 10 minutes later, they purchased the advanced bundle, right? So it's just the activity log, generally speaking, is useful in certain circumstances where you need to like look into something or you understand how somebody got to a certain place. It's just generally helpful in a lot of different circumstances because it tracks a lot of activity that's going on the site. This tab, custom fields. So if you're utilizing custom fields on your checkout page, or you have a custom form set up on your site to collect data that you've created custom fields for, those fields will show up here along with whatever data has been submitted for them. This is, you can add, so again, the manage member screen and the member details pages are going to be where you're spending a lot of your daily time running your business. And in some cases, you may have certain pages for third-party systems or otherwise that you also want to be displayed alongside these pages for convenience and efficiency standpoint. So what you can do here is create user-defined pages. And I'm not going to go into those now, but basically, for example, one thing you could do is create a user-defined page that links to your support system. If you have a third-party support system, you could create something here. Generally speaking, I think the people who end up using this feature are people who have high volume customers, and they have call centers, and they're outsourcing their support, and they only want to give those people in those call centers access to one system. So in this sense, this allows them to give those call center people access to one system, but also if they need to show them more data than MemberMouse does by default, there's a way to do that using the user-defined pages. Okay, so getting back to questions. Well, David's is a simple one. So David is asking, how do you do a refund? So that's kind of on the topic of what I'm doing right now. So that's very straightforward. So given this account, right, we can see that the lifetime customer value of this account is $170. So if we go to transactions, this is going to show us all the transactions that happen on the account. So, and remember, we got to this from the manage member screen. So I'll just, go back to the beginning. So issue a refund, common scenario, somebody emails in, they say, hey, I want a refund for this. You say, you basically need to figure out what their account is. So you can do that by email address, say that this is their email address, or you could look up their name. In this case, it's a test system and it's all my name. So that's not going to help us. But anyway, they'll give you your email address. You'll come into manage members, type it in, find their account, click it. You'll get to the details area, go to transactions. And if what do they want a refund on, right? So let's say they want a refund on the advanced bundle. So it's this transaction. So in the actions column, I just click this icon to issue a refund. And once I do that, the transactions view will show that a refund was issued. Now, also what you can do here, going back to because commonly if somebody's asking for a refund, they're going to want some proof or something that you issued the refund. So you can email them back, but also there's a trigger in the push notifications for refund issued. So what you can do is when a refund is issued, you can send an email to the customer automatically. Let I can just start with this order receipt thing, and I can just say, now I'm actually not certain specifically if all of these smart tags, because this is an order receipt template, and I'm not actually certain if all these smart tags would, let me test it. So refund issued, so I'll just say as the subject, your refund has been issued. Order data, the order number is the same. It should be the same. And as far as the refund details, we really only need to show the total. So let's just say refund has been issued in the amount of oops. That, and then I'll just delete everything else. I don't need this stuff. Now again, I haven't actually tested this recently, so I'm not sure this is going to work, but because it may be different smart tags that need to be used. But let's see. So if I go ahead and issue a refund on this, and then go to our activity log, we can see the email was sent, your refund has been issued, order number, and refund has been issued in the amount of 149. So it did work. Great. Well, that's nice. So yeah, so you can easily set up automated emails to be sent when a refund is issued as well that way. Okay, so that's how you do refunds. Question.